and they got on base 9 times with 2 strikes. That is hard to do against elite pitching. If they continue to do that, they could very well hoist the trophy.
Well, they're going to have another chance to do it against elite pitching because the guy they're facing today, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, has been awesome. He's coming off the first complete game in the postseason in 8 years.
Absolutely. I mean, this is going to be an absolute strength against strength. What the Dodger pitcher does so well, first of all, he can't get a hit off him. Hard to get multiple hits off him. His opponent's batting average on the year, basically nothing. And then when he gets on the road, even better. But here's the key. He is so good in the zone. That's what Toronto does well. That's the strength versus strength. I think for Yamamoto and the Dodgers, not a must-win, but it's pretty close to it. And they're going to have to get off to a good start with their offense.
And it is a pitching matchup as you fired up for this game. Yamamoto goes for the Dodgers. Kevin Gausman, the ace, goes for the Blue Jays. And for more on him, here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. It took a while, but the Jays finally are at the point Kevin Gausman envisioned when he signed with them prior to 2022. Gausman said when the team was swept in the wild card round his first 2 seasons, it was heartbreaking. And when the Jays finished last a year ago, he likened it to the entire club getting punched in the face. Now, as he takes the mound with his 5th club for his first World Series start, the journey is the reward. Now over to Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. Shohei Ohtani has hit 6 home runs this postseason off 5 different pitch types. But there is something very similar about all of them: location. They've all come out of a tiny window close to his body and slightly elevated. Toronto knows that is a no-fly zone. They must keep the ball on the bottom rail and below or the outside corner. Keeping Shohei Ohtani in the ballpark is about playing a game of keep away. Joe.
All right, Tom, and it was a ballpark that was rocking like it was 1993 last night. They've been the best home field advantage in baseball all season, and they flexed that in Game 1.
This city has been buzzing for a couple months now.
We can feel it, you know. They bring the energy to the ballpark.
The loudest building I've ever been.
Yeah, we definitely feel it when we're playing here. We feed off that.
This is the #1 home field advantage in the majors. Archer, kiss it goodbye!
Went crazy.
This is mind-blowing right here. They've been waiting 32 years for this. What a statement from Toronto! Tears are flowing. Oh my gosh, they did not disappoint.
Passion, power, glitter, bravado. Tonight we swing on the biggest stage these stars will ever see.
Kiss it goodbye!
Blue Jays flying high. The glorious Dodgers.
Ohtani! Ohtani!
Celebrations bathed in blue.
Blue Jays win the pennant! The Dodgers are going back to the World Series!
2 cities, 8 months of play, 7 nights for 1 trophy.
It's so good, we must be dreaming!
It's time for Los Angeles and Toronto and the World Series on Fox.
Thanks to Grammy winner Michael Bublé, who's celebrating 2 decades of his multi-platinum album, It's Time, with the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition featuring 2 previously unreleased songs. It's only 45 degrees outside. That's 7 degrees Celsius to the locals. Come on inside where it's perfect, and we're ready for Game 2 inside Rogers Center. Man there ready to lead things off for the Dodgers as they try to get this series tied up at a game apiece. After Ohtani, it's Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman with the same starting 9 from Dave Roberts as in Game 1. Hitting cleanup, it's Will Smith. He comes in with a 5-game hitting streak. Teoscar Hernandez in right field hitting 5th. Max Muncy's the 3rd baseman. Then it's Kike Hernandez, Tommy Edman, and Andy Pages, whose leash is getting shorter, just 3 for 39 in this postseason. Kevin Gausman, the ace of these Blue Jays, in his 13th year in the major leagues, makes his World Series debut.
Yeah, he's waited a long time for this, and he's going to throw his fastball split combination the majority of the time, and he'll mix in a slider. And I'm intrigued about tonight's game to see, with all the matchups he's had against these players, and he's had a lot of them, does he go away from using a high percentage of splitters early and rely on that fastball? That will be what I'm looking for.
I know you're really intrigued by this matchup.
I am. I think it sets up well for both pitchers if they execute, but that's the key. You got to execute, because both offenses will embarrass you if you make mistakes.
Umpiring crew for the second game. Adrian Johnson moves behind home plate. Will Little did a nice job behind the dish last night. He's now in right. So an 11-4 win for the Blue Jays in game one with that 9-run sixth inning. 3 runs charged to Blake Snell, but then 6 runs charged to the bullpen. And it was everything that the Dodgers had feared. That bullpen got exposed. So Kevin Gausman gets ready to start game 2. It seems like everybody's throwing a splitter these days. His has been almost unhittable. Opponents 1 for 28 in this postseason.
Yeah, watch this view. You think you're getting a fastball, and then you get this ball that breaks below the fastball. And that fastball is so important because he commands it very well. I think the inside part of the plate is only there to open up the outside part of the plate, especially against Ohtani. Ohtani got him for a home run, but if you keep the ball away from Ohtani, you're going to get him out just about more times than not.
As Tom Verducci just detailed, all 6 of Ohtani's home runs in this series have been middle in, a little bit down. Statcast 3D was powered by Google Cloud. Kevin Gausman with a 2 ERA in this postseason, and now sets his sights on this Dodgers club that he's faced 10 times in his career. And so these guys have gotten a lot of looks at the 34-year-old from Colorado. Jays trying to take firm control of this World Series, looking for their first title in 32 years. Dodgers trying to get it back to L.A., tied at 1. Off we go with a fastball strike.
That is going to be the key to tonight for both pitchers. If you get the bottom of the strike zone, the split becomes deadlier, because now the hitter has to get concerned about the height of the pitch. Every hitter says, make him get it up, make him get it up. And what they're telling themselves is, don't swing at the ball down.
Back-to-back fastballs, 0-2. Ohtani yesterday hit a home run that was inconsequential, with the Dodgers down a bunch. 6th of the postseason for him, 4th over the last 2 games.
If this isn't a split away or down, this should be a fastball in, tight, and up.
Like you said, though, you better make sure you get it in there and get it up, because that's close to the wheelhouse. 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that was left over the plate, poked to the left field corner. Lucas is there. Had a lot of the play with that, but got away with it. Different setup for the Blue Jays with the different handedness of the Dodgers starting pitcher. Lucas and Barger, instead of coming off of the bench, start in the corners. Clements at third, Jimenez at short. Bo Bichette, the plan was to have him come off of the bench today. So Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is back in there at second, Guerrero at first.
Mookie needs to change the game plan on him at some point leading off. He has to swing at a first pitch at some point. Normally he takes it, and it's a free fastball for the other pitcher.
He's homered 3 times against Gausman. It was a fastball and it missed.
He's so comfortable taking pitches that he almost gives the pitcher a free strike. He's got change that scouting report. One of these games in this series is going to come up huge.
That can be a weapon for a guy who's so passive. First pitch. Ingrained in him from his time coming up through the Boston Red Sox system, where in the minors they would force their guys to take first pitch. And so he has to kind of jolt himself to come out of that hardwiring. 5 pitches, nothing but fastballs from Gausman. And there is a slider that caught the corner, and so far he's putting it right where he wants it.
He looks fresh, and he looks like he's going to go with that plan of trying to establish a height and then see how far he can get these Dodgers to look away from the strike zone, which they're really good at.
Here's 1-2 to Betts. Another slider. Yesterday was Toronto's most breaking ball heavy game of the postseason, giving a glimpse to what the approach may be against a Dodger lineup that has not hit breaking balls very well this October. Mookie Betts down the right field line. Barger's over there, plenty of room. 2 up and 2 down in the first. That brings up Freddie Freeman.
Watching these at bats, Freddie's 1 for 9 with a home run, but a high percentage of fastballs. And Freddie, if he's going to watch the same video, I would think that he wants to establish the first fastball he can see. I would expect him to attack it.
Here's a guy the Dodgers are trying to get going. 0 for 3 yesterday, just 2 for 14 in this postseason. Only 1 run batted in. He drove himself in a home run in Milwaukee. There's a splitter. Ball 1. Anniversary of his life-changing, series-changing walk-off grand slam. On the 1-0 from Gausman, Freeman takes another splitter that missed inside, said Adrian Johnson, and it's 2-0. Don't know if it was wishful thinking or what, but Dave Roberts said, Freddie's the guy I got a hunch on tonight. 2-0 pitch to the knees for strike. He'd take anybody at this point because the Dodger offense since the start of the division series is hitting .219, scoring just a little more than 3 runs per game. Dave Roberts was hoping his group would be more aggressive tonight. 2-2. That splitter just dives out of the zone.
When you see a splitter in the middle of the plate that does what it does, it's hard to hit. When you see one that he got a called ball that he pulls, that's not the splitter he wants. It's just a mistake. So the splitter down the middle with movement, hard for the left-hander.
Through another.
And then what will happen over the course of the game, the longer he's pitching against some of these guys, and you slow him down, that's where the 94-mile-an-hour fastball can speed up a hitter, especially up in the zone after seeing a lot of splitters in a row.
Another 2-2 pitch. Fastball lifted down the left field line. That will find the seats.
You could see how late he was right there. And there's the offense you're talking about, how quiet they've been. And a byproduct of riding the coattails of some pretty good starting pitching, which will get you confident, but maybe a little not as important to score 6, 7, 8 runs when you're only giving up 1.
Another 2-2. Get off me ball, says Freddie Freeman.
And that's the pitch I thought you'd see before. And now he's seen through 2 fastballs in a row. More likely, if he wants to go back to the split, he got him off the slow stuff. He fouled off 2 fastballs. Freddie does a great job of staying in there as long as he can to foul off pitchers' pitches.
Half of the pitches in this inning coming to him. This is the 8th. Hooks it down the line. He went down to get a splitter and popped it into the corner for extra bases. Freddie Freeman with a 2-out double.
Well, this is what he does. And I said he can wait as long as he can. He reaches and hooks one, knowing pretty much that splitter was coming. Fouled off the 2 fastballs. This wasn't a bad pitch. This is just really good hitting. An abbreviated swing. You can see like he almost golfed it.
15 years in the big leagues. I was going to say 15 years in the big leagues, career 300 hitter doing that. Whatever the situation calls for. Freddie Freeman fouls off several 2-strike pitches, doubles into the corner, and a chance for Will Smith. Knocked in a run yesterday, 389 over a 5-game hitting streak. Gausman, the winning pitcher in Game 7 of the championship series, out of the bullpen. Up the middle, base hit center field, and the Dodgers with 2 out in the first inning get on the board. A double from Freeman, a single from Smith, and it's 1-0. Quickly off of the deck after they got beaten down in Game 1.
Good piece of hitting, slider away, and you go with it right up the middle. 2 quick outs and then a battled at bat by Freddie Freeman, just like that.
Well, you know, Freddie felt bad about his base running error in yesterday's game. That helped wipe away a potential rally for the Dodgers. Makes up for it here. Dodgers on the board first. Best 2-out team in baseball during the regular season, flexing that muscle right here. Tasker Hernandez now. A couple pitches that have been close that Adrian Johnson has not given to Kevin Gausman. One ball, one strike. Hernandez 0 for 3 in game 1. Well, he can send you on the emotional roller coaster as a fan, can he? Yeah. One moment he's booting the ball in right field, and next moment he's crushing a home run. 7 of them in his 2 years in the postseason with the Dodgers. Grounds it foul, 1-2.
He really tries to take the middle in part of the plate and do his damage. 3/4 of the called strikeouts, if he's going to get a called strikeout, is going to be a fastball away that he gives up on.
Down with a splitter that fell off of the table. Dodgers with a little 2-out burst in the game's first run.
Here we have Manimus Perpetuus.
It's George Springer, then Nathan Lucas plugged back into the lineup with the righty on the mound. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 2 more hits yesterday. Alejandro Kirk was perfect, 3 hits, including a home run and a walk. Varsho went deep, 2 more hits for Clement. Barger with a pinch hit grand slam yesterday. Starts today. Connor Falefa and Jimenez to finish things up. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is second in the National League behind Paul Skeens with a .249 during the regular season, and after his complete game against the Brewers, 183 in the postseason.
Yeah, good luck trying to eliminate one of these pitches. They're all good, and the Blue Jays have never seen him, really. Only 2 players on their roster have faced him.
Springer always aggressive, swings and misses at a first pitch splitter, and get used to it. He threw 34 of those against Milwaukee, and the Brewers went 0 for 12 against it.
He has a unique motion. He has tremendous balance, and you got to believe his lower half is strong to be able to throw like he does. And he just gives you windows of change of speed, location. It's going to be a big-time challenge by one of the best offenses in postseason memory. The Toronto Blue Jays, if they do it against this guy like they did against Blake Snell, you just tip your hat.
Feels like the final boss here, the way this guy has pitched. High fastballs hit foul. Yamamoto spent 7 seasons in Japan. He debuted there when he was 19 years old. 3 consecutive, not just Sawamura Awards, their version of the Cy Young, but 3 straight MVPs, and then the largest contract for any pitcher ever. That's foul, and it stays at 0-2. He comes to the Dodgers. Last year got off to a good start, but then missed a lot of the season with a shoulder injury. It was the postseason last year where he really started to show what he could be. Struggled in his first game, but in 6 starts since then, a 1.78 postseason ERA. Left a fastball middle, and it was pounded. Springer turns the corner. Throw from Hernandez. Not in time. Leadoff double. Boy, a 2-strike pitch that was on a tee for Springer.
They got 2-strike hits yesterday. They got 2-strike walks. They got on base. They're an amazing offense, and they had a record amount of foul balls yesterday, so getting the pitch count up.
Let's go, she says. Nathan Lucas comes up to the plate. Tying run in scoring position. Flexes one. Shadow center. They're at it again. First and third. Nobody out. They just don't let up.
They don't. They're confident. They play great at home. We've documented this all the way throughout. You've got to make, that wasn't a horrible pitch as far as, I don't even know how he got a hit on it, but you've got to make great pitches all the time. You just got to be confident in your pitch selection and your location. And now, speaking of confident, the guy in the box is pretty confident.
And he should be. 2 more hits yesterday for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's hitting .522 over his last 6 games. Vladito takes a ball.
Well, that's the first pitch that the Toronto Blue Jays have not swung at. 6 prior pitches, 6 swings. That tells you their game plan. You don't have to, as a pitcher, you can get pretty much tipped off what the other team's trying to do by the first couple hitters.
Jays not changing their colors. Vlad not hiding his personality as he moves ahead 2-0. 3 times as many extra base hits in these playoffs as he has strikeouts.
Well, it makes him so difficult to pitch against. See that big hole between first and second? He can hit a ball through there just as easily as he can pull one left into the left field stands.
On this 2-0, he swings over the top of the splitter. Perfectly willing to do so.
Yeah, he is. And he'll take, especially with 2 strikes. That's what would make me nervous as a pitcher. With 2 strikes, if my second baseman's behind second base, I wouldn't feel great if I'm trying to get him out of the way.
Tied run at third, go ahead run at first. Still nobody out in this first inning. Guerrero rips and misses, and it's 2-2.
So now watch how he changes his approach. He'll be more likely to hit a ground ball here, knowing a ground ball will get a run unless you hit it back to the pitcher. So those 2 swings will be different on this 2-strike approach.
Toronto scored 11 runs on 14 hits yesterday against a Dodger pitching staff that had given up 4 runs the entire championship series. Two-two pitch. Guerrero grounds it to third, but foul.
I think the biggest mistake hitters try to do in this situation is they're worried about hitting into a double play. But guess what a double play does? Ties the game. Right. So most guys are trying to lift the ball in the outfield. That brings in swing and miss, strikeout, and then a double play ends the inning. So you don't leave it to anybody else. When the defense gives you a ground ball, hit a ground ball, tie the game up.
Now another 2-2 pitch from Yamamoto. Guerrero spoils it. You're not supposed to be able to be both things. The big bruising slugger and the guy that refuses to budge with 2 strikes. He's that guy. They're that team.
Oh, no. And there's that guy. Half his size, but does the same thing.
Another 2-2. Curve gets him swinging. Just the 4th strikeout of the playoffs of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Well, that beautifully timed curveball does bring in the double play on the ground.
You're getting so used to him delivering every time he's up there. Turned away this time. Alejandro Kirk 3 for 3 with a home run and a walk in game 1. Dave Roberts went out of his way unprompted to say Kirk yesterday. Wow.
Not a swing and miss. And controlled the strike zone and did what he had to do. And even got a homer out of it.
He had a home run and he had a 310-foot single. On this 1-0 from Yamamoto, watches it miss away, ball 2. He's had more 300-foot singles than any player in baseball this year. Double from Springer, single from Lucas, first and third, 1 away. 2-0 pitch, fouled it off. Yamamoto against Milwaukee in that complete game gave up a home run on the very first pitch that he threw to Jackson Chourio. Nothing from there. The first complete game since Justin Verlander did it for the Astros in 17. And trying to ride the same story arc here. The early traffic. After the Dodgers got 1 against Gausman. Here's a 2-1 pitch. To first, first and caught by Freeman. On the fly, both runners back to the bag. 2 out. And a chance for Yamamoto to get out of this unscathed.
Great job shooting the ball to that big hole, but unfortunately, Freddie was off the bag and far enough to catch that in the air.
Here's an interesting matchup coming here, John. Dalton Varsho, the best changeup and splitter hitter in baseball.
He's a good low ball hitter. That's why a lot of fastballs are trying to go to the top of the zone to beat that swing, which is pretty grooved down.
Tied up yesterday's game with a home run against Snell. First one from Yamamoto is a curve that misses in. He's the first left-handed hitter to take Snell deep since Juan Soto did it a year and a half ago. One of the 3 that the Blue Jays hit. Varsho on 1-0. Looks at ball 2. Clement's on deck.
Well, once again, Toronto's making the starting pitcher work awfully hard in the first inning. This will be pitch number 20. They got 29 off of Blake Snell yesterday.
And that huge 6th inning was born out of that first inning in a lot of ways. They got into the bullpen quicker because they had Snell out of the game. And when we talk about that being the key to this series for the Blue Jays, getting the Dodger starters out of there, well, consider that in the postseason against the Jays, starting pitchers have averaged under 4 innings per outing. Strike one. This has not been against slouches. Elite pitching of the Yankees and then the Mariners. And now the Dodgers. 3-1. Varsho fouls it back 3-2. Yamamoto's a strike away from getting out of this inning that was 1st and 3rd, nobody out without a run.
Yeah, this would be incredible boost. I mean, you talk about a turnaround that gives your team a jolt. This would be it.
Springer doubled. Lucas singled. There it goes. It's a curve that falls in for strike 3. And Varsho, like a house by the side of the road, watches it. And the Jays watch a scoring opportunity in this first inning slip through their fingertips.
Sweat more. And sweat can irritate your skin. Take your skin to its happy place with Dove Men's Micro Moisture technology that nourishes skin. Dove Men. Care changes everything.
Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I ain't certain. All I know is I am on my way. When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I ain't certain. We're on our way.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
So I was at a Chase Sapphire Lounge and I saw a burger on the menu. I took a bite and I was sort of blown away. I took another bite and I was like, whoa, this is really special. And I couldn't figure out why, right? Was it the bun? Was it the sauce? The blend of meat? You actually have to be intentional to get that burger blend. This is the thing that I'm after. I want to find delicious things in places where you would never think it was going to be. I would do a layover for that burger.
What happens if... Too soft, too soft. Too strong.
There, soft and strong, perfectly balanced. Angel Soft.
Soft and strong.
Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, ultra smooth taste, just 29 calories.
Hey, let's get out there.
Stay in the game with Michelob Ultra Zero.
With Straight Talk's Real Unlimited data, say yes to unlimited streaming.
Yes.
Unlimited gifting.
No.
And unlimited holiday moments.
Yes.
Get a free 5G phone on us on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart.
But John, I know you like to look at the lineup card and think, put yourself in the pitcher's shoes. Who would you circle? Who would be key guys? This is one for you right here for Kevin Gausman and Max Muncy.
Yeah, Max Muncy's had good success against him. Plus, he's got to do you know, the bottom of the lineup hasn't done much for the Dodgers, and so he's a big part of when you look at when there's trouble and people on base. This is the guy that could do some damage against Gausman.
You'll see those career numbers: 3 home runs against Gausman in his career. Sends a high fly ball into shallow left field this time. On comes Nathan Lucas for the first out of the second. Well, upside down first innings for these teams. Gausman retired the first 2 and then gave up a run. Yamamoto gave up 2 base runners before he got an out and got out of it. So it's 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the second of game 2. Here's Kike Hernandez. Opposite from Max Muncy when it comes to his past against Kevin Gausman. 1 for 14, 7 strikeouts against Gausman.
Like the early attack with the fastball. And yes, he did give up a run in the first inning after getting the first 2 outs out, but the hits he's given up have been on non-fastballs. So the Dodgers again tipping their hand on what they're looking for and what they're trying to do.
One ball, one strike on Hernandez. Gausman throws. Taken downstairs. Ball 2. Yesterday's loss, just the 7th defeat for the Dodgers the last month and a half. They're looking just at the postseason. They haven't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs since the division series last year. And they're on the brink of an early exit against the Padres. 19-5 since then. On a 2-1 pitch, Hernandez swings and misses. A fastball that had life. Kevin Gausman in his 4th season here with the Jays says he's fallen in love with what it means to be a Blue Jay, pitching in front of this crowd. Said to have a whole country cheering for you. First of all, it's like, man, that's a lot of pressure, but a lot of love too. 2 gone in this second inning, and T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America. Well, he's retired the first 2 as he did in the first inning, and had a squelch it before a 2-out rally here for guys in his 13th season in the major leagues. First half of his career with the Orioles, the team that drafted him in the first round, never really did click in and fulfill expectations of a first-round pick there. Then he became a journeyman, just tried to hang on with the Braves and with the Reds and then with the Giants. That's where he took off. That's where he started leaning on that splitter, the guidance of Buster Posey there. Now in the 4th year of a 5-year contract in Toronto. Tommy Edman with 2 out. Takes side. He signed with Toronto largely because he thought he had a great chance to win a World Series here. He looked at the offensive weapons they had, and it's changed some since, but the key guys remain. And the goal remains the same for Gausman. 2-0. It's been a workhorse for him. You look at the leaderboards in the American League since he came over. Only Framber Valdez has won more games and pitched more innings than Gausman. And he said, that's all great, but I signed here for this time of year. It's 2-0 downstairs.
1, 2, 3 innings are so huge in the postseason. You can just see, like, 2 outs, man on, you know, nobody on. And you could put a 3 spot on. It's just crazy how the postseason is so different than a regular season because of stress, tension, and the crowd. The crowd would never, on a 3-0 pitch, 2 outs, cheer like that. Never.
What are they on tonight?
Or a walk with 2 outs. Go like, this is it. We got a huge rally going. It's just the nature of the postseason. That's why not everybody loves it.
Full count. Tommy Edman has loved it. NLCS MVP for the Dodgers last year. He's been the most consistent guy this year, even though he hit .225 in the regular season. 7-game hitting streak coming in tonight. Payoff from Gosman. He's down on a fastball, and there's that 1-2-3 inning in a stressful time. Short walk from here in downtown Toronto is the Hockey Hall of Fame. To this country divided when it comes to hockey. There are 7 NHL teams in Canada, but they are united over their one baseball team. Everybody up here, Blue Jays fans. But a quarter of the country has been tuned into the games on TV up here. Freddie Clement pops the first pitch that he sees. Straight up, straight down, Freddie Freeman. Oh, my goodness. What in the world happened? Leadoff man on.
I'm telling you, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. The pitcher can catch that ball instead of a first baseman running in full speed from about 120 feet away and trying to put on the brakes. You tell me a pitcher can't catch a pop fly just because it's not supposed to happen? That makes no sense. But that's what pitchers are. Oh, get out of the way. Who do you think wants it more?
I can tell you who didn't. Oh, boy. So the leadoff man on like that. And Addison Barger, who clubbed a pinch hit grand slam yesterday. The first one in World Series history.
They give that a hit?
He was waiting on it. They did.
Wow.
Ernie Clement just, he knows no other way than to go up there and get a hit. 450 in this postseason for Clement.
I'm glad we don't have this stat anymore, but I wonder what the catch probability was on that.
Oh, I bet we have it. We're not getting fewer stats these days, John. I'm going to say it was triple digits.
Yeah.
Pretty darn close. Down the corner, 2-2 on Barger.
Again, in fairness to Freddie, he's going to catch that 99 out of 100 times, but he had to come sprinting in and, you know, put on the brakes of a ball that was way up there. It's just not now. It's either the catcher or the pitcher.
Yamamoto to Barger with a 2-2.
Oh,
count goes full.
And the reason I'm saying that is because more of the pop flies that are over the mound. How many times do you see a third baseman or first baseman trip on the mound? And the pitcher's on the mound, handling the slope.
0% hit probability. StatCast says that with.
That's why I'm wondering why they gave him a hit.
Strike 3 called on Barger. Fastball in there at the knees.
Yamamoto's fastball stays low and looks like to the hitter it's going to go lower, but it doesn't. It holds its line, and it's an illusion. That's why he's so tough to hit against. And then you couple that with the fact that he throws a splitter off that same height. That's why if you're sitting at home, you go, why are hitters swinging at pitches in the dirt?
Counter for Leffler, lofts a curveball to center field for Andy Pages. You're going to get him on one pitch. I know you talk about having 3 pitches. If you have 3 pitches going, you're going to dominate. He's got 6 that he can choose from.
Yeah, and the only thing that he runs into trouble is sometimes having 6 might confuse yourself, you know, when you got 3 really working. But he does a great job of changing speeds with that breaking ball after hard split and hard fastball.
2 outs in the second inning. Andres Gimenez, the 9-hitter. 9-hitter, but he knocked in another run yesterday. He's 3rd on the team in the postseason. Just Vlad Jr. and Varsho have more.
So imagine 98 and 78. That's the speed dispersion between that curveball and a fastball, and then he's got those speeds in between. So he's got different speeds on almost 5 different pitches.
Shot to short. Betts down to get it. To his feet into first in time. Mookie Betts, what a transformation from right field to short. And one of the best in the game defensively. He helps his buddy over at first. Have this be one that he can move on from. That little misplay to begin the inning.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly Sublocade may help you move forward in your recovery. Sublocade with counseling and psychosocial support treats moderate to severe opioid addiction in adults started on an oral dose of buprenorphine or already on buprenorphine. Sublocade is just one dose that lasts all month long with no complete detox required. Buprenorphine should be started after the first signs of withdrawal. Sublocade may cause harm or death if injected in a vein. As an opioid, it may cause serious life-threatening breathing problems. Ask about naloxone for opioid overdose. Get emergency help right away if you're faint, dizzy, sleepy, confused, have problems breathing, seeing, or talking, or if naloxone is given. Don't take with other opioids, benzos, alcohol, or other drugs, including street drugs. This can cause severe drowsiness, decreased awareness, breathing problems, coma, and death. In emergencies, tell medical staff you're on Sublocade for opioid dependence. This isn't a full list of risks and side effects. Talk to your doctor and read patient label for more information. If you or a loved one is struggling with opioid addiction, visit Sublocade.com.
The Chevy Equinox is more than an SUV.
Dodgers up 1-0 as Pages takes sign. He got the sense talking to Dave Roberts today that Andy Pages could be fighting for his job in this game. Now 3 for 39 in the playoffs.
Yeah, 3 for 39 in the regular season isn't as big and as bad as it is in the postseason. It's all about timing.
And the one that really got Dave Roberts yesterday was bases loaded, 1 out, second inning, 3-2 count. Ohtani's on deck. He chased a pitch down for strike 3. They wound up coming away empty-handed in that inning. Could be a different game if he lays off that pitch. Shoots a fastball on the ground to second for Kiner-Falefa. 1 away in the third. That brings up Shohei Ohtani, who had that monster game, finish off the Brewers in the championship series. Now, plenty of guys have had 10 strikeouts in a game, more than 1,500. And a smaller number, but it's still pretty large. 503 have hit 3 home runs in a game. How many have done both things in the same game? Just one. The show, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani would be the first to tell you, though, he'd like to smooth things out here and have it not just be that game that everybody's talking about, because outside of that, this has not been a good postseason. Average down around 150 outside of that epic game 4.
Yeah, swing plane is to Tom's point in the open, all in one area. He's crushing. I mean, he's hitting it like 110, 115 miles an hour. He's got to be able to stay on the ball and go the other way to change the way pitchers are pitching him. Because right now it's boom or bust, right? A lot of swing or miss. And that's not the Ohtani that, of course, when he is doing his thing at the plate, he's going to get his doubles, get his hits, and stolen bases. Right now it's kind of homers, extra base hits, not a lot of singles.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gausman comes home. Ohtani climbs the ladder and sends a pop fly into foul ground at third for Ernie Clement, who does it. Freddie Freeman couldn't do on his pop up. He puts it away. 2 up and 2 down in this third. So there is game 4 on the left. And the rest of the postseason on the right. You mentioned the boom or bust element of it. The bust, those 19 strikeouts over the first 11 games of the postseason are the most in Dodger history over that many games.
Yeah, and that's where he's obviously much better than that, but getting into a funk of just maybe trying to hit it to the moon every single time he comes up there.
When you got guys as locked in to face you as they're going to be at any moment. Betts with a chopper to short. Jimenez is there, and that's back-to-back lane innings for Kevin Gausman. Top of the order coming up for the Jays. Springer to lead things off when you come back.
Mom, Dad, let me give you a ride home.
Yours, sir. Is this yours?
The Clubs of America. America needs kids, club kids, and club kids need you. George Springer. First pitch fastball from Yamamoto. Been a painful last week or so for George Springer, who last weekend in Seattle got drilled on the knee by a fastball. Now he gets hit up by the hand. Wrist.
Yeah, but at least the deflection blow would be better than a direct, like just flat out. I think that helps out. Not that you ever want to get hit, but off the forearm, off the wrist type is better than just a straight blow.
Well, Johnny, talk about how nice a 1-2-3 inning is to sprinkle in as a pitcher in the postseason. How about 3 innings and the leadoff man on all 3?
Yeah, and that's anti what Yamamoto does best.
Lucas takes a strike.
I mean, he's one of the best at getting leadoff hitters out at over 70% clip, and he does a great job in the 1-2-3 innings. He's way above league average in all of those categories. So he's facing a different team, though.
Lucas, who singled his first time, waves and misses at a high fastball. He only threw 3 fastballs over the first 2 innings. That's the fewest number of fastballs through 2 innings in his career. 17 splitters through 2 innings, the most in his career.
That's the combat the aggressiveness of Toronto Blue Jays.
See if he goes with one here to the lefty on an 0-2, sticks with a fastball. Checking with Tom Verducci.
Yeah, how about this? One time through the lineup, Yamamoto has hit 14 different speeds, 24 miles apart with just 33 pitches. I mean, it's like listening to an oldies station, the greatest hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Got them all. Another 0-2 to Lucas.
Oh, no.
Check swing and a splitter. Ball 1.
Well, after he's dissected him with fastballs and split, he uses that slow breaking ball to really get. If you're trying to defend the hard split and fastball, the curveball messes with your timing. We saw him do it to Guerrero.
Yeah, we take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Can the Jays get 5 runs in this game? When they do, they're 78-5 this year. At 9-1 inning yesterday. Thanks to Google Cloud for powering these insights, built with Gemini. Lucas so tough with 2 strikes. Down this time on the high fastball. 4th K for Yamamoto. And now Vlad Jr. Struck him out the first time, got 3 swings and misses. That matched the high for an entire game in this postseason for Guerrero.
You better not throw him a split here. That's a great pitch.
Carter, why were you thinking that?
To great hitters, he's thinking along. Like, he knows how you got him out the first time. And if you think you can keep going to the well with that pitch, there is no chance that he wasn't going to make the adjustment. I thought that was a great first pitch.
Drilled down the left field line, towards the corner and off the wall. Hernandez plays the carom, guns into second to hold him to a single. First and third for the Blue Jays with 1 out.
He's just too good, and he's too locked in. And after that first at bat, he was like, okay, you showed me the kitchen sink, but what you hadn't showed me is a fastball in, and I'm going to pull my hands in and hit a frozen rope. Matter of fact, I hit it too hard because he ended up at first base.
Karam right to Kike Hernandez.
He's shaking his head, but that was a good pitch. I'm just saying, against great hitters, you really have to keep them off balance, and you have to not show them the same thing in quadrants too many times.
The Blue Jays are shouting for that baseball. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has just passed John Olerud for the most hits in a single postseason in Blue Jays history. So a little keepsake. Another chance for the Blue Jays, and again it's on Kirk's plate. He was up in the same situation in the first inning, lined out. Yamamoto got out of that jam.
And I don't understand why teams are playing him so far up the middle. We've watched it, and I've watched too many times him hit a ball to right center on the ground for a hit.
So he tried to go the first time. He was just caught by Freeman over there. Sends a high drive to center field that is plenty deep enough to tie up game 2. Here comes George Springer. It's 1-1. Alejandro Kirk gets it done. The Blue Jays have been leaning on Yamamoto from the start, and they finally break through.
Well, it was a painful run that Springer scored, but a one that tied the game up after getting hit by the pitch. And Yamamoto really hasn't thrown many bad pitches. That just goes to show you how tough the Toronto Blue Jays have been on him this far in this game.
Guerrero's at first, 2 away. Dalton Varsho takes the ball. The rest of the postseason's hitting .217. The Blue Jays are hitting .305. Easy one for Freddie Freeman, and that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the third, but they've tied it up on a set fly from Kirk.
Splitters. What do you see so far?
Yeah, you know what, I think that, you know, we're creating some stress where he's trying to find a way to, you know, limit contact, and the split's his go-to pitch right there, and I don't know if this one has enough right here. Yeah, so I think that right now they're creating some stress where he's trying to get swing and miss, and, you know, they're doing a good job of creating some traffic.
On the flip side, Kevin Gausman throwing a lot of fastballs. Your hitters haven't timed him up yet. What do you see?
I think we're in between. I like that swing right there by Freddie, and I think a little bit we're giving a little bit too much credit to the split, where it seems like we're, you know, late on the heater, and he throws that hover ball down. He's got good command tonight, so I do think that with him, there's going to be swing and miss, but you got to get on the fastball and kind of take that first pitch strike away. And again, like I said, I like that swing Freddie just took.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, TV.
It's Will Smith now, and he has followed the scouting report. You were hoping that he would. He's gone from about 40% fastball usage so far in the playoffs to above 60% tonight.
And it's working. It worked last night against the Dodgers, and sometimes you have to just zig. And you got to have the guts to trust that your fastball is pretty good, and he's throwing the highest percentage that I've seen and we've seen. And right now, then you can flip the script after the second time through the lineup if he's able to stay. We know he goes 5 2/3 at least. That's the
exactly, not more, not less. 5 2/3. All 3 starts in the playoffs for him. Smith carves one out, right field. Barger. And the part of the order that got it done in the first inning retired quietly to open his 4th. Play the Fox Super 6 MLB Playoff Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of 20 grand in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details.
Well, that's what I love about this time of the year, because you get a chance to carve out your game plan totally different if you have the guts to do it. And sometimes, you know, when you got the guts to do it, it's gonna catch the other team by surprise.
We were just talking with Dave Roberts about that before the game. Can you, like you said, zig when everybody else is zagging or thinks you're going to zag? But how do you balance that with the idea that you can't change when you get to the postseason? Well, make it different.
Because what pitchers do is watch their whole history of their at-bats with these guys, and it's so much that you have to figure out a different way, because they're seeing the same history and same video. And you just have to trust that at this time of the year, they think you aren't going to do that. And so they can get comfortable in the box. And I think he's followed the script perfectly.
I know that you know that I know that you know. And who's going to break? 0-2 on Teoscar Hernandez. Tied up here in game 2. Consecutive outs for Kevin Gausman.
Ooh. Okay, Big Wheels.
We see you, Mike. Oh, you mean my beautiful new ride? Well, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, I went and found the right auto insurance rate for me. You know this thing can traverse any terrain.
Terrain? No, that's not what you call in your auntie's driveway.
Some things you can handle, like finding auto insurance coverage that's right for you with Progressive's Name Your Price tool.
Wait, what happened to the coupe?
Oh, well, you know, I think it disappeared with his hairline.
Handling what your loved ones say about you, not so much.
T-Mobile has the best network. That's why there's no better place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them.
Hold on. Is this big enough? We should have music, lights, banners. I mean, you gotta feel it. Get the most powerful iPhone ever on the best network. I sure dance.
This is big. At T-Mobile, get the incredible new iPhone 17 Pro on us on the best network. No more coffee for Zoe.
relief appearance in Game 7 of the ALCS. How much has that benefited him tonight?
I think so far so good. He's throwing the ball really well. Kev's got a track record of, being pretty damn good when he has an extra day or two. But I like the way he's throwing the ball. After the first inning, just really good at bat from Freddie with 2 strikes and then the RBI to Will. But I think Kev settled in, locating his heater, and the split's really carrying the zone well.
What do you like about what your hitters are doing against Yamamoto?
We're grinding him, which is kind of what we're trying to do. He's got really good stuff, 5 pitches. You got to be ready to hit a mistake, but at the same time, you got to really, really focus on areas because he's a really good executor.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, as Ernie Clement grounds out to open this 4th inning. John Schneider was drafted by the Blue Jays back in 2002 as a catcher. So while it's his 3rd year as the manager of the club, it's his 24th in the organization. He got as high as AAA. And we became clear that he wasn't going to make it any higher. He wasn't going to make it to the majors as a player. He started to plan for a coaching career. The Jays saw it coming too, so they offered him a coaching position while he was still playing. And it was hard for him to let go of the playing thing, but he said, give me a few days. I'm going to think about it. And then he shows up and he says, okay, I've thought about it. If I homer today, I'm done. I'll start coaching. Barger sends a fly ball to center field. Pages goes back on it and puts it away, 2 out. Well, sure enough, he goes up, he hits a home run, goes back into the dugout, literally takes his cleats off and hangs them up, and the next day he's a coach. Said he was late to his first coaches meeting because he was doing a little toast with his buddies, the players. He was their peers for the last time, so they enjoyed it for a moment, and then he went over to the other side, literally and figuratively, and chased his dream to become a big league manager. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa takes strike 1.
Well, he's found out in the hard way of coaching through these playoffs and not having success, and then finally getting to the World Series. You're judged by every decision, fair or not, and everyone's an armchair quarterback. Especially when articles are being written and you're following information, following your gut, and trusting your players like he says he does. And it comes down to execution.
Bouncing ball to short from Mookie Betts. And Yamamoto finally has a clean inning. Tied at 1 to the 5th. And we're back after a word from your local Fox station.
For the McLaren Formula One team, success starts by tracking over 14,000.
Lawrence Market here in Toronto. Been around since 1803. You can find just about anything in that place. Plenty of Blue Jays hats, that's for sure. All around this city. Buzzing with their team back in the Fall Classic for the first time in 32 years. Tied at 1, top of the 5th. Max Muncy takes the first pitch splitter from Kevin Gausman, who has retired 10 in a row since the Dodgers had back-to-back hits to score a run in the first.
You know what's in the back of his mind.
Kevin's or Max's?
Kevin.
What's that?
I'm getting through this inning.
One more before he's really got to worry about that.
But he has to get through this inning smooth to give his manager confidence to not get somebody up in the top of the 6th, because that's where it's gone basically 2/3, and they get the bullpen up. Top of the lineup for the Dodgers coming up.
Here's his 1-1. Muncy shows with everybody back on the left side and goes through it.
It's such a good play by Muncy, and I know people are like, wow, you need to hit a home run, but that's not the pitch you want to try to bunt on up near your Dodgers logo. People don't realize you don't even have to make a good bunt. You can square, bunt it, tell the pitcher, hey, I'm going to first base, and there's nothing you can do about it.
1-2 pitch is downstairs. Couple splitters in this at-bat so far to Muncy. Gausman has rode the fastball. Came into this game throwing it less than he had in any month his entire career. 10 of the 12 outs, though, have been on the 4 seam. His 2-2. Got him with a splitter.
This one was nasty. I told you normally you don't want them down and in, but that had such downward action. It didn't get pulled. And when you pull a splitter, it has the opposite spin that you want. And that one stayed on top. You stay behind it, and it drops off the table.
1-1 game, top of the 5th. Kike Hernandez, who popped out his first time, the 34-year-old from Colorado, comes home and gets strike 1. Grew up idolizing fellow Colorado native Roy Halladay. And of course, the former Blue Jay, Roy Halladay. And Kevin has said one of his great regrets is that he never got a chance to meet Roy before his tragic passing in 2017. Roy wore 32 with the Jays, but he wore 34 with the Phillies. Gausman carries his memory out there to the mound each game with his number on his back.
Now, where that pitch just got called, if he throws a split off that height, there's no chance that Hernandez would have the ability to lay off of it just based on that pitch getting called at that height when he thought it might have been a ball. He pulled it. That's
overdue a little bit.
Yeah. And it's pitching 101. As soon as you see a questionable call that the hitter thinks, oh, no, that's not a strike, you got to put pressure right back on that same area, and he just pulled it.
The 1-2. Right back there to strike him out. Back-to-back Ks to open the 5th.
When they said the height of the fastball is going to be the most important part of tonight between two pitchers, probably a ball close though, and then you see a pitch in that same area, and there's just no way. He has to hang that pitch for the hitter to have any chance, because now he's trying to protect two areas, the location and the movement.
Because now he's established that fastball like he hadn't over his first few starts of the postseason.
And he just asked somebody, was that a strike? And they told him no, and it's a dejection. And obviously, for those of you don't know, next year there will be a challenge system, and the challenge system will be up to 3 choices of questioning a pitch, and maybe that would have been one of those. Who knows?
Tommy Edman hooks one in the air to right field. Barger's going back with rain. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman, who's not given up a base runner since the first. Walk-off, Capital One will donate an additional $10,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation as part of the Capital One walk-off program. They've donated more than $1 million to date. The foundation to support its programs and initiatives. It's 9-1-2 for the Blue Jays in a tie game, last of the 5th. Andres Gimenez, after the first 1-2-3 inning for Yamamoto, it has been constant stress right from a leadoff double from George Springer. There wasn't a runner in scoring position the entire game in the championship series when he went the distance against Milwaukee. Right from the start today, he's had that.
He has, and he's done a great job wiggling in and out of. He's thrown a lot of strikes.
Swatted to left, Hernandez for the first out.
When you face the Toronto Blue Jays, you cannot be afraid to throw strikes, but they got to be quality strikes. You got to almost bully them in the strike zone. And I talked about it in the open about how tough it is to get hits in the strike zone against Yamamoto.
23 pitches in that first inning. The Dodgers had to be fearing a repeat of last night when Snell had to throw 29, but just 10 pitches per inning since. Ball one on George Springer. Doubled in the first inning, got hit by a pitch to lead off to third, and came in to score their run. No different than a leadoff walk. Big time no-no this time of year. Free pass issue, and it led to a run. Routine for Muncy. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Lucas.
Lucas has had some big swings, and the big swings are getting him a little bit. He got that big swing off the end of the bat, kind of bleeder single, but then up above, swing and a miss.
Will Smith took a second there before throwing that ball back in protest silently of Adrian Johnson's ball call. The relationship, the politics of the catcher and the umpire. The 1-0 to Lucas. Another big rip. Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's bigger than normal. And look, when you see that as a pitcher, okay, whatever your game plan is, you might have to adjust from it a little bit and not allow that swing plane to catch up with the ball in the middle of the plate.
Bounce back to him. Yamamoto's got it. Takes his time. Throws to first. And ends the inning. It's another 1-2-3 inning. Yamamoto's gotten his last 6 outs on 14 pitches.
We know the world's watching. We're going to show everybody everything that we're about. And this is going to be an absolute strength against strength.
Come on inside where it's perfect for game 2.
This is Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first home and are
against cancer. Major League Baseball, together with our fans, players, and coaches, are united in our determination to defeat this disease for our friends, our families, and our community. Please stand with us, along with MasterCard, Fox, and the entire baseball family, in support of all those this disease has touched. We invite all of you who are watching to participate by scanning the QR code shown on the screen or visit standuptocancer.org. Together, we can make a difference. To everyone standing in support of the people you love, thank you. Now, our friends at MasterCard are proud to bring you a special performance from the Jonas Brothers of I Can't Lose, dedicated to everyone standing up to cancer.
What do you know? I went out, getting just from dark. Finally got out the door, got on the way to cancel my flight. Nothing's working anymore, it feels like I'm losing my mind. When I get a day like this, it's without a warning. Push it off and change my attitude. I can't lose when I'm with you. Oh, you give me everything, everything that I need, everything I need to keep smiling. Oh, I can't lose when I'm with you.
All right, so the Jonas Brothers with a special performance as we stand up to cancer here in Toronto. We got a pitcher's duel going. This is as good as it gets, huh? World Series ball game. It is tight with good pitching late into it. 9-1-2 coming up for the Dodgers. That means Shohei Ohtani's about to bat in this inning. Hope you guys are having a great weekend wherever you are. And I know this is your favorite kind of game too. You were looking forward to this matchup, and these pitchers have delivered.
Yeah, I just love the cat and mouse. When you got greatness on the mound, you got guys that are in rhythm, and then you got an offense that can strike at any time. And it's really that mind game that you have to play and execute it this time. Look, it's been perfectly played so far. We got a tie game, and each offense is looking for that one breakthrough swing or inning to turn it over to some leverage guys, because they want to shorten the game, especially the Dodgers do with the leverage bullpen.
And both bullpens set up pretty well, because yesterday's game was a blowout, so you didn't really have to have your top arms used. And Kevin Gausman's been leaning on that fastball more, so he's got that splitter more in his pocket than he normally does to this stage of the game.
This is the time you flip the script back. You start using that pitch now as you get later in the game. Look, when you throw a lot of splits, it takes a little bit out of your, I would say, your endurance, right? Your fastball suffers just a little bit, and he's been able to keep that in his back pocket. So now he has the ability, once the Dodgers are confused for 2 times through the lineup, to be able to use it now more like we've used to see him in this postseason.
2 hits allowed on the splitter all postseason, and 134 of them thrown. Now the Dodgers starting rotation, the biggest reason they took off when they were sitting right around 500 over a 3-month stretch. They were in a fight in the division in early September. These guys got healthy. And with Ohtani, he didn't begin pitching until midseason, but they put it all together. It became what you envision when you invest $1.3 billion in your rotation. That was the biggest reason the Dodgers came into this World Series having won 24 of their last 30 games. Blake Snell did not have his stuff last night. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has found his tonight. Problem for the Dodgers is Kevin Gausman has been step for step. So here we go to the 6th inning. Game 2 is tied at 1. Andy Pages leads off. And shoots the first pitch into right field for Barger. 1 pitch, 1 out on a fastball. And now Ohtani.
Ohtani is still looking for that pitch middle in, and he's hit a fly ball to left and a fly and a pop-up to the third baseman, so I would think he's going to be super aggressive, and the first pitch he sees middle to middle down.
Blue Jays knocked out a 60 home run hitter in the division series, and Aaron Judge, another in Cal Raleigh in the championship series. Now Ohtani with his 61 total this year, taking ball 1. In his 8th season in the major leagues, doing things we've never seen done. Headed for a 3rd consecutive MVP. Babe Ruth and then some with his 2-way longevity. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Perfectly located. You're talking about 2 of the best teams from run scoring from the 6th inning on. Blue Jays were the best, and the Dodgers were 2nd. Most runs scored from the 6th inning on.
On the hands, foul ground, Clement and Kirk. Ernie Clement to get Ohtani. And so here is Kevin Gausman at 5 2/3, which is where 4 of his 6 postseason starts with the Blue Jays have ended.
Well, nobody in the pen, and he's got a different look, and 15 straight batters will do that for your manager to not give a reason to even get anybody up. So an impressive outing, and he knew he was going to have to be great. And when you go up against another great hot pitcher, even though you're not facing him, you know you can't give up many runs.
Mookie Betts in a tie game in the 6th. You feel that? Does that raise your level? And the other guys, Jack Morris, you head-to-head in the World Series?
Absolutely, and this is the game you anticipate. You want it tight going into the 6th and 7th inning, because now you're locked in. There's no faking it. It's 5-0. Pretend it's 1-0. You know it's 1-1, and you got to be on your game every pitch.
Betts pops it up. Guerrero's over. He has room. Stumbling to his backside to finish off another 1-2-3 inning. Boy, have you ever seen somebody throw his gum with such attitude as Kevin Gausman does? Feeling himself. Tied up in game 2.
Known for pursuing your passions. No one wants to be known.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. with a fastball strike. Yamamoto for the Dodgers has retired 8 straight. Kevin Gausman double that. 16 in a row retired. Back to the Dodgers' first inning run. Guerrero 1 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This crowd's been living a big party for 2 days. They got that big win yesterday, You know the Dodgers are trying to get their best to go home 1-1, but man, a loud noise. This crowd has been waiting for that big blow, loud noise.
Corner.
They have been, like I said, standing for almost the entirety of this postseason.
And this is their favorite. They got a team full of guys they love. It really is a cast of characters it's easy to like. But this is their guy. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. grounds one up the middle, ricochets to second. Tommy Edman from short center field throws him out. I don't know if that got a piece of Yamamoto or at least kicked off of the mound. Not a simple play. One gone in the sixth.
Looks like it got all mound.
One score, one out in the sixth. Alejandro Kirk knocked in the lone run for the Jays with a sac fly in the third.
There's always that one pitcher on a staff that, whether it's the other pitcher pitching a great game, your team just doesn't score you runs. It's this guy.
Half of his starts this year, John, half of his 30 starts, he got 0 or 1 run.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. As great as he's been all year, you're talking about 6 to 8 more wins. And the opponents know what they're going up against.
1 ball and 2 strikes and a couple sliders here to Kirk.
He just has such a great feel for manipulating the baseball. To have 6 different pitches, you've got to be in rhythm and athletic.
The curve gets him to wave and miss. Yoshinobu Yamamoto with his 5th strikeout of the game against this deadly Toronto offense.
Yeah, watch what you got to get the fastball, right? And then you're going to see the curveball pop out of his hand. Well, watch what timing you need to have. You got to be real quick on the fastball, but then watch when the fastball hits to where the curveball is at the same time. That makes a hitter impossible to stay back, keep his hands back, and still hit that pitch.
Varsho tries to lay off but couldn't on a first pitch cutter, and there's pitch number 6 in the arsenal that he's breaking out. Blue Jays do not have a base runner since a 1-out single from Guerrero in the 3rd. Against an offense that has been historically good. After a 23-pitch first inning, put his foot down. Here's his 1-1. Channel center. Betts is there. 3 up, 3 down again. That's 11 in a row retired by Yamamoto. Your turn, Kevin Gausman. Back after word from your local Fox station.
They're passing 50 times a game. You know what I mean? Hard counts don't travel like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have the wide receiver lined up over here on the split. You know what I'm saying?
They did not know what he was saying.
I know what you're saying, Cornell.
Nobody knows football.
Are these free?
Like Tom Brady.
Actually,
nice.
After the game, the polls are open as of this morning. In New York, voters flocking to early voting locations across the city, and an identical scene across the river in New Jersey. We have got complete coverage tonight as the election is finally in your hands.
Look at the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be played in North America on Fox next summer. Toronto Stadium at Exhibition Place going to be one of the host venues for some of the matches. Out of the 7th inning in a 1-1 game. Gausman to Freeman. A fly to center field, and he has just missed on a couple. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Kevin Gausman has finally broken through here in his 7th postseason start. First time he's pitched into the 7th inning.
0 for 14 on that 4-seam fastball, and that is what you call executing and really getting the Dodger hitters in between and now turning them into super aggressive early count hitters.
Who blinks first? 17 straight retired by Gausman. The Dodgers got their run. Back-to-back 2-out hits in the first inning. Freeman doubled. Will Smith, who comes up here, single. Toronto got their run and a sacrifice fly in the 3rd.
Hasn't thrown his slider much because he's been throwing his 4-seam fastball a lot. Look for that pitch as well.
Yeah, threw it 4 times in the first inning, has not since. First one to Smith. Fastball inside. Who blinks? Same way, or different question. Same question asked a different way. Who has that big swing? This has the kind of feel to it that could be one swing to decide it. On a 1-0 pitch, Smith takes a strike, 1-1.
So is that Smith or Schneider?
Yeah, hard to tell, right?
Who copied who? Schneider copied Smith.
He did. David Schneider, when his mechanics feel off, instead of grinding in the cage, just imitates other big league hitters, and Will Smith is the guy he's been doing lately. A little bit low, ball 2. Smith with a single in the first inning, has a hit in 6 consecutive games after missing a month with a hand injury. Simple swing of his, a short arm, simple swing, right back into it. Here's the 2-1. Ball 3. Not been too many of these counts.
No. He's got one of the best disciplined approaches, does Will Smith. Hitting 300 almost the entire year.
Came up in 2018. Ton of big swings through his career. Two excellent catchers, backbones of these pennant winners. Kirk and Smith. The 3-2. High drive deep to left field. It's Smith with a big swing into the second deck. He's given the Dodgers the lead in the 7th. His first extra base hit of the postseason couldn't have come at a better time for LA.
And one of the first pitch location mistakes for Gausman. You cannot miss middle in, short arms, compact swing, loves that pitch inside, and he leaked his fastball for the first time in the wrong area.
Dodgers had not had a base runner since the first inning. Then bang, 2-1 LA as they try to tie this series up. A strike called on Tasker Hernandez. It had been nothing but singles. Been a bunch of them for Will Smith, but there's the pop. Teams that out-homer their opponent in this postseason are 25-5. And the Dodgers are the first big fly of game 2.
Now, when we see this replay, it won't be exactly in the low part, but he's hitting 488 on fastballs in that general area.
Louis Varland getting ready. First stirring in either pen we've seen tonight.
Now that ball's supposed to be away. See how it leaks in and just almost to the belt inside. Lit up when he hit it, and he knew it.
Normally stoic Dodger catcher. Any bit of fire and emotion you've got hidden under there is going to come to the surface in October. Gausman's 1-2.
Oh no.
That reaction right there would cause me to throw another one. Another split finger. He reacted really anxiously at a pitch that was way outside the strike zone.
No matter what you throw, it shouldn't be in the strike zone of this guy.
Correct.
Time to break out that slider we haven't seen since early. It was another splitter to get him.
I mean, there was just no way to throw anything else. As jumpy as he was on that previous pitch, that's what you got to watch. And you see that and you go, he's trying to get the fastball. Don't give him anything close. Splitter wasn't even close. This was actually worse than the pitch before.
Got Hernandez to expand for his 6th strikeout of the game. Yeah, and he's gotten Hernandez all 3 times on splitters. 2-1, 2 out, and Max Muncy. And Max Muncy was shouting something there as Gausman got into his delivery. Didn't want to take his eyes off Gausman, though. And frustrated with Adrian Johnson. I don't know if he thought Gausman came at him too early, if he wasn't quite ready. Pitcher's not supposed to begin the delivery until the hitter is locked in on him. Muncy 0 for 2 in this ball game, 1 for 6 in the World Series. Might have cost him a strike there. Not catching that. 1-1.
Well, the interesting thing for the Dodgers, obviously Yamamoto can go as long as his manager wants him to go, but you have Sasaki available, and I would think multiple innings if needed because of the situation of the series and the score.
Constant stress in the early innings, but 3 straight 1-2-3 innings, and finally some backing from his offense. Oh, 2-2.
He can stay stubborn with 3 in a row here, or he can climb the ladder belt high, make a fastball look like it's enticing. Max Muncy doesn't usually expand too often, but seeing slow, and then fastball might get him to do it.
Fastball lifted in the air, deep left field. Lucas going back, opposite field bomb. Max Muncy with a second solo shot of the inning. The Dodgers riding the long ball to the lead in Game 2.
That pitch needed to be up, and it was down. And even though he was late, he's strong enough to hit the ball to all parts of the park. Watch where this pitch is. That pitch is that belt high. It needs to be up higher to get that above the barrel of the bat, and he goes the other way.
2 home runs from the Dodgers in the 7th inning, ending the longest postseason start from Kevin Gausman, who had not given up a base runner since the first. He gets a well-deserved hand. But right now, the story, the Dodgers trying to get this series back to L.A., tied up, trying to defend their title.
Now be disseminated without express written consent.
From the dugout to your doorstep, grab official World Series gear, just like the players wear at MLBshop.com. Jays bullpen takes over. Louis Varland to Kike Hernandez. Sends the first pitch in the air to right center. Barger is on. And it takes just 1 pitch for Varland to finish off the inning. Couple home runs for the Dodgers, though. Max Muncy has hit more of them than anybody in Dodger history in the postseason. And Will Smith, who grew up dreaming of being the next Big Papi, doing his thing in October, and I'm sure Papi's proud. Dodgers have the lead in Game 2.
2, please. Make that 3. With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment.
3% cash back on salty, 3% cash back on sweet. You know this movie's 3 hours, right?
Good call.
Are you in this one?
Yeah, I'm in this one. Get your tentacles off my 3% cash back. Oh, perfect delivery. Oh, what's in your wallet?
Blinks first. Smith and Muncy solo home runs to left field. 3-1 Dodgers. Yamamoto back to the mound.
That's what makes the Dodgers so tough. That's why they're defending champs. The guy almost pitches a great game. I mean, a perfect game. Every decision he made, every pitch he made, except for those 2 right there. And now you're trailing. It's amazing. But so is the guy on the mound for the Dodgers.
Starter Ernie Clement with his slowest pitch of the night, a 64-mile-per-hour lollipop of a curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Clement, who's 1 for 2. And if I'm Dave Roberts and the Dodgers at this point, I'm starting to think about the best path forward is just letting this guy go the distance again.
He's been awesome.
23 pitches in the first inning. Is it just 74 now in the 7th? One-two to Clement.
He's just doing a great job of that. He doesn't throw two to three pitches in the same area. And he hasn't thrown maybe 3 pitches in a row with the exception of to Guerrero with the splits. He just keeps the hitters guessing.
Ground ball to third. Muncie's got it. One away in the 7th. Take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud, as this game rolls on. And looking at Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they're giving him a 36% chance to go the distance again. Last guy to have back-to-back complete games in the postseason, Kurt Schilling, 3 in a row to open the 0-1 playoffs for Arizona. Thanks to Google Cloud for powering these real-time insights, built with Gemini. Addison Barger now. Roller to first, saw him off, 3-1, 2 out. Everything playing up, and that's what you hope for this time of year, but you don't often see as he now gets ready to face Bo Bichette. So started yesterday with the left-handed pitcher for the Dodgers. And John Schneider kept it close to the vest, but the idea was all along that he wasn't going to play him right away again. Said normally a guy misses a month and a half. You do a couple innings at a time and rehab games in the minors. Didn't want to run him into the ground, so off of the bench here. Will Ayrton, the interpreter, out there with Mark Pryor for a visit. Earlier this year, MasterCard and the Jonas Brothers invited cardholders to tap or order online with the MasterCard at grocery stores and restaurants. And thanks to your support, MasterCard is here to present a $5 million donation to stand up to cancer. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Bo Bichette told me before the game that he was uncomfortable only a couple of times yesterday, and both times occurred on the plays he made in the field. After the 2nd inning, he switched from a sleeve around his knee to a balky knee brace. That helped.
Yeah, you can really tell. Much bulkier. As Bichette goes up there, pinch hitting for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Trying to start something with 2 gone, trying to start anything against Yamamoto. Got a hit and a walk in his first game in a month and a half.
He's got an early count hack, and I mean a hack like that.
To Bassett short, backhand stab, lobs it across, and 3 ground ball outs. Yamamoto with 14 in a row, retired, sniffing it again, sniffing the finish line.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado.
In Aurora, Ontario this morning, led by MLB Play Ball ambassador Coach Ball Game. Youngsters are joined by softball legend Jamie Finch and MLB alumni. You can go to playball.org to get more information as Tommy Edman flies out on the first pitch from Louis Varland, who's gotten 2 outs on 2 pitches.
Chance he can do it 3 for 3 here, because you got to get on top of his fastball, and then he's got a wipeout slider. Even though he's only given up 8 hits, 4 of those have been homers, unfortunately, for Varland.
Bichette staying in the game at second base after pinch hitting for Kiner-Falefa. Strike on Pages. You know, in talking with the Dodgers the last couple days, they just seem like this bunch that has this belief, this unshakable belief, where it doesn't matter if it is a long layoff, it doesn't matter if it is a game 1 beatdown. In Dave Roberts' words, we just don't care. We're winning this thing.
Yeah, and like I talked about,
roller up the middle, Pages has a base hit.
It started when they lost the first 2 games. When it was 2-1, when they had to win those 2 games, when they were facing elimination and had to win those 2 games to get to the next level, they just said, I don't care about the noise. We don't care about anything. We're going to internally do this. And they did.
Yeah, it was the division series last year. Down 2-1. Questions about Dave Roberts' job at that point.
That's right.
Otani fouls it off. They had to pitch a bullpen game just to keep their season alive. Yeah, and trying to go to 20-5 in the 25 postseason games since that point. First defending champion that's made it back to the World Series since the Phillies in 2009. No team has repeated since the Yankees, 98 to 2000. Ohtani breaks his bat on a base hit to right. Back-to-back singles for Pages and Ohtani. Throw behind Pages, who almost got backpicked there by Barger.
Barger's got a cannon. If they got to know that. It looks like he got back. I mean, this guy, 98 miles an hour, he can throw a ball.
Close.
And he got back. Worth a challenge.
He might have kept his spot in the lineup by a half-inch right there. 94-mile-per-hour throw there. And now we get a quick word from Capital One.
What's been the highlight of your career?
And that'd have to be
bank guy.
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
What's in your wallet?
Replay review is presented by Zoom. It was Ohtani that hit that ball, and then Barger's out there saying, hey, maybe I should be a two-way guy too. He's a pitcher in high school with this cannon of an arm. Strongest arm in the majors. He's touched 100. He averages 97.
Call the field is confirmed for a safe. Toronto has one challenge remaining.
To no avail, though. Dodgers are first and second with one away, looking for some insurance here with Mookie Betts coming up. Dave Roberts said, an old coach who used to say in college, we want to make them listen to silence when they go on the road. So that was the goal for his team coming into these two games. I know you talk about keeping it to a dull roar. They wanted to make them listen to the silence. There was not much silence yesterday. For the first 6 innings today. The 2 home runs that have turned that track on. Track of silence. With a win, they take home field advantage in this best of 7. Series goes to LA after today. 3 games beginning on Monday night. Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani lined up for the next 2 for the Dodgers. Scherzer and Bieber for the Jays.
That's why with the Dodgers, I mean, the narratives change so fast. They don't change in their clubhouse. That's basically what Dave Roberts was saying. But around the, oh, wait a minute, could this be? They got 4 studs that at any time they could pitch a gem. And that's what Toronto knew they were up against. So this is why this series, as I said from the beginning, is going to be way better than people think based on the dynamics of the pitching versus the hitting.
The 2-2 to Betts. Taken outside, ball 3. There's the idea that this was a David against Goliath matchup.
Yeah.
And
it's not really.
Toronto's fine with that being the narrative, but you're right. It's just not true. They won more games than any team in the American League. Gone through one top pitching staff after another to get here. Betts takes the walk to load the bases. Top 5 payroll, too. It's not like they're a cheap spending team. So, yeah, the Dodgers are Goliath, but John Schneider's team is not David. Going to make a pitching change here with the bases loaded in the 8th. Freddie Freeman's coming up with a chance to break open game 2.
Compliments.
It's the anniversary of the first walk-off Grand Slam in World Series history. Game 1 last year against the Yankees. The moment he's talked about is a life-changing moment for him. Try to crack open game 2 after the Jays rolled in game 1. Jeff Hoffman's on to pitch.
Now, Freddie has just missed his last 2 fastballs he's seen.
in the dirt, kicks away. Here comes Pages. He'll score standing up. Wild pitch on the first one that Hoffman throws. And it's 4-1 LA.
Thought there for a minute might have hit him.
Yeah.
I think it did. Doesn't matter, but he would get first base if they reviewed it.
Infield in. 1-0 home. Jeff Hoffman faced the Dodgers back in August at Dodger Stadium. Faced 7 hitters. Walked 5 of them. This is a guy, if the Jays are going to win this series, and they're going to put him on intentionally here, so he gets first base one way or another. And if the Jays are going to have a chance in this series, Jeff Hoffman has to be a guy they can count on.
Yeah, he came in and was huge in Game 7 in the 9th inning, struck out 3 after pitching in Game 6 2 innings.
Now Will Smith with the bases loaded, taking a strike. It was Smith's home run that broke the tie last inning. Mason Fluharty getting loose. Doesn't budge. The Blue Jays bullpen the last few days has gotten it going. 5 innings. They had to cover more of the game yesterday than the Dodgers pen did. Outperformed them. 5 innings, just 2 runs. Back to Game 6. Sub-2 ERA. Bouncing ball is short. Couldn't get him out of the inning. There's one over the first, not in time, and a run comes to the back door. Ohtani in to score as Will Smith is safe at first, and Menes could have come home to get a runner.
I'm not so sure that was the wisest decision. When you're down 3, you got to be absolutely sure you can turn this. This is a long underhand toss, and that's just too long. The play would have been to come home for sure, but if he had a soft and an easier toss, watch how long this underhand toss is, and that's just not enough time for a guy who can run pretty good for a catcher.
So now it's 5-1. Will Smith has driven in 3. Doubles his total for the postseason.
The reason you got the infield in is because you're going to cut down the play at home. And if that would have been a one-hopper like Bullet, yeah.
Oh, 0-2. Teoscar Hernandez trying to avoid the World Series golden sombrero here. Struck out all 3 times against Kevin Gausman. And an 0-2 count against Hoffman.
He also had to deal with the most borderline low strikes all game that have not gone his way.
Oh, you bet you right. Here we go.
To the play, runner takes off from first, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Dodgers get 2 against the pen in the 8th, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto has retired 14 in a row. Could he be headed for yet another complete game?
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Ready to lose weight?
Yamamoto pulls in strike 1 on the 9-hitter Andres Gimenez, who's retired 14 in a row. He's coming off the first complete game in the playoffs in 8 years, now eyeing his 2nd in a row. I know Dave Roberts is in no hurry at all to get that bullpen going. Yamamoto's thrown as many as 113 pitches in a game. A little defensive maneuver behind him. Justin Dean's into the game in center field. That moves Pages over to right. 113 in a game in the big leagues. You go back to his time in Japan. He had a game in the Japan series where he struck out 14, went the distance, and he threw 138 pitches, doing stuff like you guys used to do.
Well, the pitch count's overrated. We've gotten obsessed by it. and that's why it won't matter here tonight. It's all about the rhythm and the fluidity in which he's throwing. And if you see that stress cuts that down, early on stress, but no stress in the last 3 or 4 innings, that's for sure.
His 0-2 pitch. Lays off the high fastball. You know, there's the idea that the pitchers that come from Japan, rigid schedules, they have a lot of asks. But if you give them their structure and their schedule, fouled into the glove, strike 3. They say, look, you give me that, I'm good, you can push me. Run that pitch count as high as you need to. At 85 pitches, he's got 1 gone in the 8th. Then we get a quick word from FanDuel.
Make baseball come alive when you bet live this season with FanDuel.
Here we go, top of the order, one more chance. Springer's 1 for 2.
I laugh every time I hear it, because if that was a scientific data that had a point of eliminating injuries, I'd be all for it. It's actually the worst part of our game when we obsess over pitches, but yet injuries are going through the roof. So you really got to look and use your eyes, and not every number is the same for every pitcher. That's the beauty of it. And yet, as soon as you see 100 pitches, you're like, oh, he's going to break. Get him out.
How do we decide 100 is the one? Curve pops in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. So his heavy splitter the first few innings, he's almost ditched that pitch, bringing along the rest of the arsenal. Inside with a splitter right there. Here's his 1-2. Strikes out Springer with a fastball. That thing blazing to the top of the zone. Yamamoto 7.
Four-seamer rising to the top. Again, all 4 quadrants have been thrown to tonight with 5 and 6 different pitches. So he has taken a great offense. Maybe not early on, but since then, just put him away.
Lucas with 2 out, takes strike 1. Mentioned the last guy to have back-to-back complete games in the postseason, Kurt Schilling in 2001. That was all in the division series and the championship series. Last guy to have back-to-back complete games, one of them in the World Series, your teammate Tom Glavine in 1992. Here.
Yeah.
And a losing effort.
And a losing effort. I was just getting ready to, unfortunately, follow that up with. Those wounds have healed, maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. They're still.
1-2 on Lucas. Yamamoto, the largest contract ever signed by a pitcher, living up to it. A little smile on his face. The guy hardly sweats. His 1-2 to Lucas. His fastball, and he's to get him looking. He strikes out the side in the 8th. What a performance. Yoshinobu Yamamoto take a bow in game 2. The Dodgers 5, the Jays 1. LA's 3 outs away from tying this series up.
With so many choices on Booking.com, like this waterfront hotel.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
Julian Sayin leads top-ranked Ohio State against Penn State. It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
This game is tied at 1 to the 7th inning. Back-to-back 2-run innings for the Dodgers. One of those came on a home run from this guy, Max Muncy. Meanwhile, Yamamoto has kept on rolling. 17 in a row retired. Strikes out the side in the 8th. 8 for the day. No walks. No base runners since the 3rd. 2-0 on Muncy as Braden Fisher takes over for the Jays. The Dodgers, for a lot of this season, fell well below expectations. Coming into the year, there was talk, and justified when you look at the roster, could this be the best team ever? Could they threaten the Mariners' 2001 wins record? Health was a part of it, and to be expected with the oldest roster in baseball. They dealt with a lot of injuries, especially to the rotation. Lineup, though, guys like Muncy missed time, takes a walk here to start the 9th. Earlier tonight, we delivered a powerful message as we once again join our partners Stand Up to Cancer, reaffirming a commitment to the fight against cancer. Scan the QR code or visit standuptocancer.org to find out how you can help today. Hernandez squares, bunts it in the air, foul. So again, part of it was health, part of it was just human nature. They didn't have the consistent edge. The regular season, pretty much a formality for them, and lacked focus at times, played to the level of their competition. Early September, Dave Roberts pulled the team together when they were in Baltimore. They were on a 4-game losing streak at that point. Looked like they might lose the division to the Padres, who are right on their heels. Muncy takes off on this pop up into shallow right field. He'll retreat. Barger coming on. Guerrero going out to make the catch. Wow.
Yeah, it's not that easy of a play, and he's located.
What a Willie Mays like from his first base spot here. One away for Tommy Edman. Message from Dave Roberts was, look, I know that we're all kind of carrying the baggage of not having lived up to what we thought it would be. But he said, think of it like you do when you get to October, where everybody says, hey, blank slate. Forget about what's happened to this point. New season. He said, drop that baggage. New season starts today. And he said, I'm as guilty as anybody of carrying the frustrations of what has gotten us to this point. But drop it all. Begin anew today. That night, Yamamoto goes out and takes a no-hitter into the 9th inning. 1 out away from a no-hitter. Dave Roberts is like, I'm brilliant. What a perfectly timed speech. Well, he loses the no-hitter with 2 outs, and then they lose that game. Fly to right field for Barger and 2 out. So worse gets even worse. But the next day, he said they went in there after that gut-wrenching loss, and things just felt lighter. The music was playing again. Guys were joking around. From that day forward, 24-6. Expectations had been heavy. Dropped them. Forgot about what had gotten to that point. And tried to look at each day like the postseason had already arrived. 2 outs for Paez. Takes high.
Well, in fairness, for most of that season, everything you just said, relevant. They didn't have any starting pitching, right? I mean, they were running guys out there that you didn't even think had an opportunity to be on the roster. So that's part of it. And thankfully, Clayton Kershaw comes back from surgery and kind of does his thing, or I don't know where they would be, because there didn't look like there was going to be much room for him either. So all those injuries to the starting rotation, and then of course the bullpen, it was pretty much patchwork until that stretch the last month when everybody kind of got on that roll.
And Dave Roberts said that that's not a coincidence that the meeting came as they were getting healthy. He rarely throws team meetings. He said if I was going to do it, I wanted to time it out right where we were healthy enough to take advantage of the talk and have it close enough to the postseason where it could sustain us right on through, as opposed to a little kick midseason that then loses steam. They've come out of that meeting and that shift in perspective, and it has floated them right through to this World Series. Not even Zampajes. Jays have 3, 4, and 5 coming up in the 9th inning, down 4. That man leads off. high. Fly ball to left center field, but no big deal for Dalton Varsho. To the bottom of the ninth we go. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Complete game against Milwaukee. 3 outs away from doing the same in Toronto.
For 25 years.
Something special brewing here for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, trying to join the likes of Oral Hershiser to deal back-to-back complete game wins in the postseason. You got to go back to that 1988 epic run from Oral to find the last guy that has done what Yamamoto's trying to do in a Dodger uniform. Did it against the Brewers in the championship series, and almost impossibly is trying to do it against this lineup. This lineup that coming into the game had the #1 slugging percentage of any lineup in postseason history. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off. Guerrero singled in the 3rd. Toronto does not have a base runner since. 17 up, 17 down. Has not been a ball out of the infield since the 5th. A card to the knees for strike 1. The splitters tap foul. 0-2.
Well, they say when you're an offense and you're up there and the guy's in rhythm, you got to get him out of the stretch. Well, haven't done that in a while.
It was pretty much constant stress and stretch first few innings. Got the run on 4 hits over the first 3. And a rocking chair since. Oh. And hold your breath right here if you're Toronto. Fouls this ball off himself and in pain. As he walks it off, gives us a chance to remind you that after the game, the post-game show presented by Strauss comes your way with Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Big Papi, and Derek Jeter.
I don't want to hear Derek say anything about the University of Michigan tonight.
Oh, they're going to say 96.
Well, that ship has sailed.
That's a long time ago, Derek. Let's take a look at Vlad here. All right, John, you want to talk football?
Let's talk football.
Tomorrow on Fox, NFC East rivalry, Jackson Dart, upstart Giants against the Eagles. Already beat them once. Check our local listings for the game in your area tomorrow on Fox. KB will do the Strauss post game. Head down there to call it. 0-2 on Guerrero. Here comes Yamamoto. He just missed. He found his zone, but it missed his spot. Didn't get the call. Guerrero came into the game 3 strikeouts all postseason. Yamamoto trying to get him for the 2nd time tonight. He says. Two and 2. Sasaki just in case. Curve off the end of the bat. Freeman to first. 1 away in the 9th. You know, it's a franchise with such a rich history. And the pillars of that history are some of the biggest names in pitching that we've ever seen in this sport. Mention Oral Hershiser, what he did in 1988. In that same era, Fernando Valenzuela. Of course, back to Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale and Don Sutton, all Hall of Famers. Clayton Kershaw in this era. A strike on Kirk. To do something that stirs up those names, stirs up the biggest names in this franchise's history, you're doing something utterly masterful. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that.
How about what he's just doing in this new generation of devaluing starting pitching? It makes it even stand out even more. When you don't see this at all and everybody's so quick to go to the bullpen, to me, it stands out more than the guys you just mentioned when it was more commonplace.
Kirk sends a line drive to center field. Justin Dean is there. 2 gone in the 9th. Well, I've mentioned it several times. It would have been almost a decade since anybody had pitched a complete game in the postseason. Yamamoto out away from doing it back-to-back starts, standing out like a beautiful sore thumb. Mastery. The word keeps popping up. Mastery. 6 different pitches. A feel for all of them. And a strike on Varsho.
You know what comes to my mind? Don't do the other team a favor. Why? Meaning, if you take him out, you're doing the other team a favor. He's in rhythm. And there's no stress.
0-2 on Varsho. Yamamoto 6 1/3 in Game 2 of the World Series last year against the Yankees, and it was like, wow, that is deep. He's redefining that, resetting that bar for himself and for everybody else in these playoffs. The 0-2 pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Game 2 of the World Series against the Blue Jays, has thrown a complete game, retiring the final 20 that he faces. 9 strikeouts, no walks. Simply dazzling.
I told you this is going to be my favorite game that we do in this series, just based on the 2 pitchers and really based on that guy. Man, did he get it done.
And he got these Dodgers into a tied series, 1-1 after the Blue Jays leveled the Dodgers in the first game with 11 runs. Offense looking like an unstoppable force. Their match tonight, and Yamamoto moves to 3-1 in the postseason. The first guy to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason, one of them in the World Series since Tom Glavine in 1992. The first Dodger to do it since Orel Hershiser and his MVP 1988. We've seen the pitcher, we've talked about the pitcher, but the guy, the teammates love, one of the favorites down there, acclimated himself so quickly, coming over new country, new language, new schedule, new city, new food, all this stuff that he had to get used to. Was good as a rookie, really took off in the postseason, elite here in his second year. Masterful, historically good when it matters most. Down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks. With Yoshinobu Yamamoto, your interpreter, Yoshihiro Sonata, a beautiful game you pitched tonight. 104 pitches, no walks, a complete game in the World Series. What are you most proud of tonight?
104球、フォアボール出し、一番今日何を誇りに思いますか？1イニングずつしっかり投げていけたのと、初回ちょっとランナー出したりで、球数いったんですけど、しっかり切り替えていけたんで、いい結果につながりました。
You know, because I racked up my pitch count early on, but I think I took it like a 1 inning by 1 inning, and then I think I was executing my pitches very well today.
Well, let's talk about how the game started. Lots of pitches in the first inning, runners on first and third, and then you went on to retire the last 20 batters of the game. What changed?
今日おっしゃったように海外初回の方で前半の方で球数が多くなったんですけども、その後20人すべてきちっとアウト取れた。それはどういう要因だったでしょうか？
やっぱりこうなんていうんだろう、リラックスして初回入るっていうのは心がけてたんですけど、やっぱワールドシリーズなだけあってちょっと力みがあったんで、しっかり冷静に調整して、そこからテンポを上げていけることができました。
I was trying to be going into the game relaxing, but you know it's a World Series, so I kind of get early on because I was like kind of throwing with unnecessary tension. So I just adjusted that, and then as the game went on.
You gave us a game for the ages. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
There was something. Yamamoto with those 6 different pitches, a feel for all of them. Those guys are happy to be sitting over there tonight, not having to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The offense comes to life to support him with 2 home runs against Kevin Gausman to break a tie in the 7th inning. Speaking of ties, this World Series locked at 1 as it shifts to Los Angeles and Dodger Stadium on Monday night. After the break, the Strauss postgame show. You saw